So today we're going to be putting together a desk wall bed. This is all the tools that you're going to need for that. We have a dead blow mallet here. You can also use a rubber mallet. We have a tightening rod, 2 5mm Allen wrenches, 2 flatheads, blue thread locker, 2 screw guns, however you only need 1, a stud finder, the hardware pack that was provided, and a ladder. Okay, so next what we're going to do, well first, what we're going to do is connect these two sides of the panel together by putting these pegs and this joint fastener into this hole. Trick is to kind of shimmy and shake it in a little bit. I think you put yours in fast. Good. How's that? Lift your end up a little bit. You're getting caught in the water. There you go. You have to be careful if you have long carpet, because you can get it caught right here in between. So you want to make sure that you are lifting up while you're connecting these. This is where your tightening rods come into play. And what you're going to do is you're going to get this to the length that you can stick this in, and there's a very particular way to do it. I can get it to the point that I can. I'm going to bring that over here. Just watch this. You want to put the completely cut through end facing this way. And then you tighten it by sticking this rod in these holes. And going the right way. And again, while you're tightening this, you want to lift up a little bit. Make sure you can close your gap and you're not getting any carpet stuck in there. For the next step, we're going to be putting screws in. 4 in this board. 1 here. 1 here. 1 here, and 1 here. It's important that you run this one first. Easy to run these screws all the way through the panel, so do not over-tighten. Next step is to put the decking in. Do it 1 side at a time. Your goal is to get all of your holes to line up. Make sure that your strap right here does not stay under the decking. Perfect. Again, very important not to over tighten. You will run straight through your decking. That's not what you want. Can you see the screw holes from there? And all you're going to do is just fill every hole with a screw on the decking. All right. Okay, the next step is you're going to take all three of these washers out of these three holes. I've already taken one out. Make sure you don't lose these plastic washers. They're very important to make sure your piece doesn't get scratched up. And you're going to slide this underneath your panel, and your goal is to try and make sure that you line these holes up. I recommend getting someone to help you lift it because it is not as easy as I made it look. Toss me that thread locker. Whoop. So in each of these bolts, you're going to dab a little bit of your thread locker just in the threads. And what that's going to do is once your bed is up, it's going to prevent these connector bolts from ever coming apart. And you only need just a dab. And you use your 2 Allen wrenches to connect these. Hey Ryan, will you toss me one of those? Just stick one in one end. Just tighten the other. You're going to do that on these front 2 holes. This does not connect to this part of the panel. Yes, there's a hole here, but that's for this wall. Okay, so your next step is to take your walls, and you're going to get them as close as possible. You're going to take this band that I told you not to connect, and that's what's going on next. Anytime you put one of these bolts on, you're going to have a plastic washer in between any point of contact. So you want one on here, in between that and your metal hole. You want one in between your metal hole and this wood right here. Then you're going to come through the wood, and you're going to have another washer in between this wood and the bolt. And then you're just going to connect them with your Allen wrenches, which I don't have. And before you tighten this all the way, you're going to want to pull this off. What you do is you stick a flathead into one of these slots and you just turn left, just like you're loosening a screw or a bolt, and it will come off. Set that aside for now. Into this hole here. And now you can back up what you're going to do is you're going to lift this wall, and you're going to have another person lift the panel slightly. That's going to line up your holes, push it all the way in. Then you're going to take this pin that we removed earlier, this clip, and you're going to push it back on. I recommend using the flathead because you can cut yourself with your thumb. Okay, so next step is your roof. You want to get it behind these blocks here. You have 4 holes in your roof that you're going to stick these connector bolts into. Go ahead and show them the holes. On the top, right here.
Nope.
Another part that takes 2 people. You want to put both sides in at the exact same time. You go slightly above this block here, and then back in front of it. You're going to take 2 of your Phillips head bolts with the washer, stick them both into the hole, tighten them up.
I think I edited that one out.
You gotta come pretty close for this. So you're gonna attach your goosenecks now. You're gonna run this cord through this hole. Pull the length of it until it comes all the way through. There's 2 holes in this gooseneck base. You're gonna line them up with the previously drilled holes. And you're going to run 2 screws in there. Then you're going to attach this wire to your transformer that will have been previously attached. And it will click when it's in properly. And this is definitely a 2-person job. You're going to lift it now. Fingers under the panel, not just the frame. In order to get this panel to stay, we're going to put in 2 brown struts. If you want to use the mallet, that too. And again, for this part, the mallet is optional. You can also use a closed fist, but the mallet is much more comfortable. You're going to have to come in and watch this. So one person is going to move the panel up and down for the other. The other person is going to knock those into place. And on the struts, the arrows always face up. Go around there.
Move it up. A bit more. Bit more. Bit more. A little bit more. Bit more.
Oh.
A little less. Bit more. Right there. there.
This next part is very important. It's to keep you from getting slammed in here and to keep the panel from falling. You want to put a shoulder into it. You want to put one hand here with your other person, push down, and just shimmy this metal out. Throw it aside. One hand here. Let it gently close. As long as you keep your finger right here, this panel will not smash your finger, but do not go any higher. Well, you're right. See if you can find something that aren't fucking stripped. Next is your footboard. It's another one that's really easy with two people. You're going to match these blocks up in the front. And the person in the back is going to tell you whether or not you need them to adjust. They need you to adjust up or down, and they're going to attach them.
Up a bit. Right there.
So once you got your panel all pushed up to your wall, on both sides, you're going to climb up here and you're going to try and find at least 2 studs, preferably 3, to attach it. And that's what your L brackets and 2.5-inch screws, and your pan heads are for. The pan heads are going to screw downward through your L bracket into here. Your 2.5s are going to go into your wall.
Hold on, what the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so for the shelf and the desk, you're going to bring down the panel. Easiest way is to get your finger under here and just pull. It's best to weigh it down with something heavy. We're going to use my toolbox. That way you don't have to constantly hold it. You have 8 screws on each side that attach these black bars. And your holes are pre-drilled, so all you're doing is lining up. And next you're going to be putting your hutch onto your base cabinets. There's these things here called mod ease clips. And all you're going to do is you're going to put the hutch on top of these behind the piece and then slide it forward, and it's going to lock them into place. And we'll show you how that's done. You have 4 leveler feet on each cabinet. What you're going to do is you're just going to run them until they hit the ground. If you have any gap here along this side, you're going to adjust these until the gap is closed. The easiest way to do that is to have one person hold it in position and then just run all the feet to the floor. Just like any bolt, any nut, any screw, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Right goes down, left comes up. But they should always be touching the floor. As long as you followed all steps correctly, you can put both hands here, pull towards you until you can get both hands here, and gently let it fall. And that's how you bring your bed down. Same thing but backwards to put it back up. Hands here until you can get them here. Gently let it close.